Hello everyone, thanks for joining again. So normally I do reviews of HO and OO scale stuff, but today we've got two giant big hopper wagons to have a look at. They're actually in G-Scale. I'll give you some idea of the scale of these because if I put this beer wagon in HO scale beside them, you can really see the difference in scale. These are absolutely huge wagons and they're ideally suited for something like a garden railway just because of their size. I'm going to have a look at the one at the front because the one at the back has a little bit of a problem. I'll come to that later in the video, but let's check out the one at the front first. Both these models are by Aristocraft Trains and are in the B&O Chessie System livery, and this one has the number 161411. So this is quite a large model. It does have quite a lot of weight to it, but it is all made in plastic apart from the wheels. At this end you've got the brake wheel and some details down here. The brake gear and the cylinders are inside underneath the hopper here, and we've got some really nice delicate little railings here and the steps coming down from above. Even though this is in G-Scale, they've avoided the temptation to make these really thick and robust. These will break quite easily though, so you need to be careful if you're running this, especially in a garden environment where it can take a few knocks. You can see up here it's got some really nice bracket detail and also some nice rivet detail, and this rivet detail follows through in the whole side of this wagon. Looking down the side at the start here, we've got the Chessie System logo and the B&O with a number. Now, this is where we have some problems with the printing of these logos because you can see that the @ symbol, it's okay, it's on the side of the ridge here, but it doesn't have it on the front of the ridge, so it really spoils the @ symbol. There is some nice printing here of numbers. Here in the middle we've got some details, and then further down Chessie System logo, again with the problems on the side of the ridge here again. The yellow is all printed in a kind of glossy finish. You can see the light catching it there. The rest of the wagon is all in black plastic and it's quite matte, which is very prototypical, but these logos in gloss I don't think is. So it might actually benefit from a spray of matte varnish before you run these wagons. Down this end there isn't any brake gear, but there's still some steps really nicely moulded. You can see that there's gaps here between the steps and the rest of the wagon, and you've got the Aristo logo here as well as the B&O number up here again. Inside this wagon it's certainly got a lot of carrying capacity. Now I did get these second hand. It does look as though the previous owner has used this to carry something like gravel or sand or something because there's still some residue there, but it certainly has the capacity to carry quite a lot of stuff in this wagon just because of the sheer size. You can see how well they've moulded the interior bracing of this hopper wagon in here. Underneath, one of the cool features that this wagon has got is these spring-loaded doors on the bottom of the hopper. So you can fill this model up with sand or something like that and then empty it through these hatches here. There's also some nice detail of rivets on some of the bracing underneath this wagon and also along the bottom of the chute here. So let's have a look at the trucks now. They're made of plastic, but they do have these really great metal wheels here. They're very solid and they're very free rolling, and you can see that the axle boxes also rotate as the wheel rotates. That's a really nice addition there. You also get these springs which are made of metal, and it does have some suspension here. So that's a really nice attention to detail, as is the lettering on the side of these trucks along here. The couplings that this wagon has are very prototypical in that they operate very similar to how they do in America. They've got this part that closes and then there's a little catch at the bottom to open it up. So that's a really nice feature. You can also see that they can move from side to side to help this wagon get round some tight corners and stay coupled up, even though there's a lot of articulation on the bogie itself. The coupling can be changed for something different. You can easily unscrew it here and fit something else in, and the bogies can be removed by this screw here, and you can see another screw there that's holding the wagon together. So this is very securely put together. I guess it needs to be because it's such a huge big wagon. So I'll show you the packaging that came with this model in a moment, but my overall impression of this wagon is very impressive just because of its sheer scale. All the detail from the prototype has been faithfully recreated onto this model, and you'd kind of expect that in this scale because it doesn't forgive if you get something wrong. That said, it isn't overlaid with detail, and I think some of the HO scale hopper wagons that you can get have a similar level of detail. But one thing that's really impressive is the wheels on this. Those metal wheels will certainly roll very well, and I don't think you'll have any problems pulling this wagon along, even if it is loaded up. However, you will need a powerful locomotive if you're hauling something like sand in one of these wagons. So let me show you the details on the other wagon. So this one is slightly different. It's got a different running number of 161462, but aside from that, all the rest of the details on it are the same. But the key difference I wanted to point out here, so while this has been fitted with the same kind of bogie as the other wagon that I just talked about, at the other end it has actually been changed for something else. Like I said, I did get these second hand. These wheels are starting to get a bit rusty as well, and this bogie that's been put on here is a really inferior one compared to the one on the other side. It doesn't have the 3 metal springs, and it's just a molded one piece of plastic, and it has a different coupling here, which isn't as good as well. So that wasn't made clear to me when I bought this wagon, but I'm hoping it'll be okay. You probably wouldn't notice this when it was running along on your railway. Anyway, I'll show you the packaging that came with these wagons. So here we have one of the wagons in its packaging. It's just held in with these polystyrene blocks on each side, and it's in a cardboard tray, and it has this cardboard sleeve over the top of it. You can see that this one is starting to get a bit faded. I guess it's been out in the sun or been stored in a shed or something in the past. One of the things I did notice though, it has this warning message here, and it's quite a serious thing that it's saying it's got chemicals which can cause cancer, birth defects or other reproductive harm, but only in the state of California. So I'm not quite sure what happens in California that causes that problem with these wagons, but it doesn't seem to be a problem anywhere else in the world, so that's great because I'm in the UK, so there's no risk here. On the side of the box it shows a technical drawing of the hopper wagon, and it also has some features down here. Now it does say plastic wheels here, but this actually came with metal wheels, as did the other one. Maybe the previous owner changed those from plastic to metal wheels, but I'm really happy that they did, because those metal wheels are really quite impressive, even if they are getting a little bit rusty just now. So overall, these models are quite interesting to have. If you've got a garden railway layout and you've got the space to run these wagons, then I think these would be a great addition to your layout. There are some problems with the printing of the logos on them, and that's a bit of a disappointment, but the rest of it is absolutely superb. It really looks quite impressive. It's such a large wagon and it has so many options for carrying stuff inside it as well, and behind a locomotive in a rake going through your garden, this would look really cool. So if you can find these, I'd say pick them up and add them to your layout, but you will need a big layout, so just bear that in mind. Let me know what you thought about this video and my analysis of these models in the comments below. I'd really be interested to hear what you think. Please give this video a thumbs up, it really helps this channel, and you can subscribe for more videos like this in the future. But for now, that's it for today. See ya!